Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my #1 Sentai Gozyuger episode commentary and reviews. This time it's episode 47, Go Fight Rikuo, When the 100 Nights End. And remember, if you do enjoy what you see, please remember to like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment. It just means a lot on a small channel like this. That, and I am so close to 500, I want that milestone. But anyway, let's get into the episode. The episode opens with Goju Tirano and Goju Leon collapsing and powering down after 10 hours of fighting, as Ryuji suggests there may be another way. Back at the cafe, Herrero asks Kinjiro how he's still young without his ring, and he replies that he asked Tegasword to keep him young until it's all over so he can keep an eye on them. At that moment, Ryuji has an idea. If he helps Rikuo achieve his wish, then he gets the ring, as he announces he'll be Rikuo's producer. After the credits, Kamade is searching the city for the source of the presence he felt before, as he tells Bear Kuma to follow him. Back at the cafe, Rikuo and Ryuji are watching the music video Ryuji has produced, starring Rikuo and Tegasword, as Bouquet arrives saying it will damage Rikuo's image, and she will never accept Ryuji as Rikuo's producer, tying a ribbon round her head, saying she will do it herself, and ending up passing out flyers. But a group of people rushing over mistake Bouquet for an idol herself, as she tries to promote Rikuo as the crowd cheer for her. For the next attempt, the pair have worked together creating a giant shrine, with Rikuo sat in a throne on top. And as he stands and blows a kiss to the crowd below, they start to cheer. In the graveyard, Tegasword can sense the same thing as Kamade, as he and Tegajun explain to Goodburn that it's Rex, the greatest of the calamity, and with the power of altering probability, it pretty much makes him the god of the cosmos. And in the previous war, Tegasword never beat him. In the No.1 world, Fire Candle collapses, quickly attended to by Rex, asking of his health, but Fire Candle says it's fine, and he just needs the Gojuger's rings to help him get even stronger to remake the world for the Britons. As Rex asks if that's true, Fire Candle flashes to Herrero, before saying yes, it's true. That night, Rikuo is out for a run, thinking about how Ryuji and Bouquet have just told him they've arranged for him to do a concert. But as he thinks about shining bright, anxiety gets to him, about it all ending and people rejecting and walking away from him again, as he receives a message from the pair saying they've written a new song for him. As at the cafe, even the landlady is excited for him. But Ryuji receives a reply saying Rikuo wants to cancel the concert. The pair meets with Rikuo at the venue as he apologises, saying it should be bigger and flashier, but Ryuji silences him and requests an explanation, telling them he's worried it would end again, so if he used his wish, he wouldn't have to worry about failing. But Ryuji says he's disgusted with him, and beating Rikuo should be easy now, as he transforms, attacking Rikuo, who transforms as he's thrown outside. But the fight is interrupted by Rex and a load of No.1s, as the other Gojugers rush in to allow the fight to continue, as even Kinjiro is there, guiding people to safety as the fight continues. An Aiza lands in the distance as Goju Polar shows up, and Herrero says he's taking that one, as he gives Kuon to Polar and calls upon Orca Booster. The two mechs battle, with Rex demanding the Ranger's rings, but Herrero ends the fight with a full Blood Moon finish. As the fight continues between the two Rangers, they power up with Kaka Ranger and Magi Ranger rings, before continuing in their normal forms, and when Rikuo is knocked down, Bouquet steps out to cheer him on, saying she might have stopped being his fan once, but he won her over again, so he can do that with everyone else, because that's what an idol does. As he gets to his feet and continues the fight, we get the announcer and cheerleaders before the pair rush in to finish. Later, crowds flood into Rikuo's comeback concert as he performs the new song for them, as the other Gojugers discuss the concert at the cafe, and we see the blue ring on the shelf. Elsewhere, Fire Candle finds what's left of Rex as he feels a presence, and as Kamade is walking along a corridor, he sees something down a hall that vanishes, before revealing itself to him, as Kamade announces it as Rex, the Calamity's leader, as the episode ends. Okay, be honest with me. Does anyone else feel like this is just a little bit too late to be introducing the Calamity's strongest member? We've got 2 episodes left. It's just, it really feels too late. I mean, the whole Fire Candle thing, which is still ongoing. He's got the power of the last Calamity they fought. Which I even thought that was too late to be bringing in the final big bad. And that wasn't even the final big bad. But yeah, it doesn't really progress. You know, we see him struggling with the power, which he was at the end of the last episode we saw him. And, you know, as usual, he's just saying, I want the Gozyuger's rings, because that way he can have even more power. Which, I don't know what he's going to do with that, because he can barely handle the power he's got. Unless he's going to end up with all the rings, and the power of the Calamity that was beaten, and use that to beat Rex. That'd be a real, like, you know, curveball in Gozyuger. Like, you know, one of the former enemies being the one that beats the final big bad. And the Gozyugers don't get... The Gozyugers have nothing to do with the final battle. It's going to be Fire Candle with all their powers. I mean, he's popular enough. When Bouquet starts to cheer for Rikuo, her cheer is just like the one from the announcer and cheerleaders, which I kind of like. I think they even like had a bit of the music in it as well. But yeah, it's so nice to see her like cheering on Rikuo. And, you know, when he performs, she's there in the background when his producer, Ryuji, is, you know, back at Taiga Village. So I'd like to see those two get together. You know, I think I said before, it'd be like Gozyuger with Kyoryu Blue and that pink monster. I can't remember her name. Because in the anniversary one where they shared it with King Oja, I'm trying to remember these things, they even announced that they were getting married at the end of that. So I used to say that, you know, Rikuo and Bouquet won't be a like official couple by the end of it. I know I've already said one thing about Fire Candle, but in my notes I have put down, I think something bad is going to happen to Fire Candle because of Rex. But and quoting from my notes, which I wrote as I was watching it, hoping Fire Candle will fight back in the end, being the deciding factor in the final fight. So, if he's going to be with Rex fighting the Gozyugers, because he's mind controlled or whatever, because he's got the Calamity power in, if it ends up that he manages to fight against the mind control from Rex, and, you know, turns the tables just as things are at their darkest for the Gozyugers, and, you know, steps up alongside Herrero, who's got every single ring, and the pair of them finish off Rex. You know, something like that. You know, I love Fire Candle. I think he's brilliant. I don't want him done dirty at the end of all this. I want him to have a good ending. I think I said last week, Fire Candle has to have the good ending. And also, Kinjiro and Rikuo now have no rings. And we've got the big bad of the season has finally made an appearance. 2 episodes left. Will they get given their rings back so they can join the fight? Because it's kind of a shame if they don't get to join in the final fight. Or is it just me? I mean, yes, I know it's the Battle Royale. They're supposed to be whittled down. And speaking of, how in the next 2 episodes will we get the 4 Gozyugers whittled down to 1? Although, again, in my notes, I put without them just giving the rings to Herrero in the final fight is the last-ditch attempt to win. If that happens, yeah. I mean, okay, I know I've made 3 predictions now for, like, episode 49. But I think one of those... Well, the first one I don't think is going to happen. As much as I would love Fire Candle to be the hero of it all. Fire Candle being the deciding factor and helping Herrero at the end could happen. The Rangers, I mean, if Kinjiro and Rikuo get their rings back to help with the fight, and then, you know, everything's going to pot, and everyone just goes, right, take all the rings, all the Universe Warrior rings, all the Gozyuger rings, Herrero gets them all, and then, you know, fights against the Calamity with like ultimate whatever, Taiga sword. If they come up with another one, or we get the 5-color back. You never know. And then, because they're struggling, they're able to beat Retz enough that he can't maintain his mind control over Fire Candle, and Fire Candle then helps to land the time. Something like that. Because also, as well as that, Fort Gojuger's down to 1. We need to finish Fire Candle's arc, and we need to finish the Calamity arc. We've got 2 episodes. That's a lot to fit in. Assuming they're going to do it properly. And also, I might add, I was right last week. If they focused on Rikuo, he was the one that was going to lose his ring. And they focused on Rikuo. Rikuo lost his ring. I've said before, I love Japanese storytelling because I can't predict it. Is there something wrong with this series if I'm able to predict stuff that's happening now? I've loved Sentai for quite a few years now. And yeah, it almost feels a shame we're going out like this. If King Oge had been the last one, it would have been a brilliant end. If Boom Boomja had been the last one, it would have been a decent end. Dom Brothers had been the last one, it would have been an absolutely insane end. But that show is insane. So any of the last few could have been a half-decent ending for the show. And, I'm not even thinking of, like, the scandals or whatever else in the background. I'm just thinking of the show itself. The writing, the lack of a cohesive thread throughout the show. And the main thing about the show, the Universe Warriors. Half of them got off screen. And even, like, Mayboy, the one who was played by Taya from Boom Boomja, he was the King Oja ring holder. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm off and I'll fight you when we're both, like, stronger. Or something along those lines. Thinking he's going to go up and get a load of rings himself, come back, and they're both going to have this massive fight using all these powers. No, he just gave it to Riga Red off screen. And Riga Red eventually goes, yeah, you've earned it. Here you go. Have mate your boys ring. There's a lot to do in 2 episodes. And yeah, we got some big boots that need filling. Otherwise, it's going to be slipping quietly into oblivion for Sentai instead of going out with a bang, which this show deserves. Sentai's been amazing for so many years. We've had ups and downs, but it's been amazing for so many years. Let's hope it goes out on a high. Next time it's episode 48. 2 to go. I'll see you then.